I believe the evolution of you and I, and a lot of people listening, is a lot more people making $61,000 a year doing exactly what has them on fire and living an extraordinary amount of people that have unlimited resources, are desperately lonely, insecure, unhappy, and borderline depression, suicidal. That's just truth. I see it in so many of my friends. I always say the two ways to build something insane is deep, deep insecurity turned into fuel, or deep, deep, deep levels of confidence turned into fuel. Here are the two things I want to go extra level to watch out for. In confidence building, too many people go too far and they go into that 8th place trophy delusional place, and then kids don't believe you. So one, it's don't let it be delusional. The whole you can be anything, you can do anything you want, you can be anything you want, you just might not be the best at it or great at it. You can be a musician. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a financially successful enough musician to pay for your household. Or if you want to be, you can. You're just going to have to live humbly and live your passion, which I think is going to be the conversation in 100 years. I believe the evolution of you and I, and a lot of people listening, is a lot more people making $61,000 a year doing exactly what has them on fire and living, this is a big part, and living within the means of that 61,000. But that's a different conversation for a different day. So number one, watch out for delusion. Number two, you can't be the only source of positive reinforcement. Had I never gone outside and my mother did everything she did, I don't think I am who I am. The other part that made me was ringing doorbells and having 81 people say, no, kid, I don't want you to wash my car. And having 6 of them say, yes, kid, I do want you to wash my car for $5. I think what also made me was standing on a lemonade stand for months in my life, 2 days here, 3 days here, 5 days here, months of my life from 6 to 13, and watching 99.9% of the cars drive by my stand and not react to my great steins and not stop and buy my lemonade. I think what made me was 100 out of 105 people said no to shoveling snow. What made me was I had a baseball card table and I watched 100 people walk by and not want to buy anything from me, even though I had good stickers and good cards. And one, the market made me. All those no's became enjoyable.
It's the yes that acts as the evidence, though. So it's the person coming along in the 1 in 100 buying the lemonade that makes a young Gary or a young me go, do you know what? I can sell lemonade.
100%.
So how does one person listening to this now that's been listening to our content and they really want to be an entrepreneur, they want to have a big media company, whatever it might be, but they don't know they don't have them but
they don't have the
objectively
chops.
they don't have the
chops.
minerals.
Well,
how do they go about discovering they don't have the minerals?
By going in the pool and drowning.
Okay.
It's not for you and I to judge because we've been wrong too much.
Yeah.
I've been wrong so much it scares the fuck out of me, and I'm gifted with intuition that when I'm dead, I hope they can test for it because I think I'm all time. And I've been wrong a ton. That makes me believe everyone's wrong. So if you're listening, here's a couple things that are a good call out that may bring value instead of what I just said. Asking what you're in it for is humongous.
Yeah, but this generation, I don't think they know. Because people come up to me.
And you know this. First of all, you're part of this generation, young guy.
That's how I know.
But I know too. But guess what? My generation, I'm so done with this. My generation didn't know either. Guess what? When I was 22, all my friends wanted to hook up too. All my friends wanted a BMW too. And by the way, as somebody who observed people his whole life, the people that were older than me, the people that were buying expensive wine for me when I was 20 and they were 35, everybody wants stuff to communicate to others that they're winning. We've been putting on makeup since we had fucking clubs hitting each other. It's what humans do. We do things to communicate to
status and stuff.
Yes. Why? To hide. We're hiding.
The answer you'll get from my generation, is, well, I want to change the world, Gary.
Yeah, of course.
And then you go, what do you want to change about it? They go, in fact, what I came to learn is they want to be the type of person that's known for changing the world. They 100%. Want the admiration.
That's right.
They saw the audience clap,
that's right.
And they want that feeling.
The money, the fame, the accolades, the blue check, the followers, the fun. I understand. It's the problem with all the things I just mentioned is they're a vulnerability to your own happiness if it's not balanced. There's nothing. By the way, sometimes people get mad at me in the other direction. They're like, fucking Gary, we're fucking face off. I can buy a fucking watch or a car. I'm like, of course you can. The why if you like love the shit, like I don't understand sports cars and the feeling of going that fast. That's not me. But I understand buying rare sports cars, and that's enjoyable. If you enjoy that, that's phenomenal. When I talk about materialistic things, I talk about makeup for insecurity. If you are burning the midnight oil, you know how people burn out? They're working till 2 a.m. to buy the expensive car, to use it to close their insecurity, to get the affirmation from the opposite sex or their friends. That system's broke. It won't work. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like everyone's like, oh, okay, Gary, but I'd rather have the fucking money. Like this whole like, I'd rather cry in my Ferrari than drive a Toyota or take the bus. You say that. Do you really want to be in a mental place where you're on the borderline of suicide and you have heavy drug usage, even though you make $3 million a year, $17 million a year? Because you know this now, Steve. You've worked very hard and you have the talents and the luck of the draw and you put in the execution to now run in circles where you know what I'm about to say is ungodly true, which is the following. An extraordinary amount of people that have unlimited resources are desperately lonely, insecure, unhappy, and borderline depression, suicidal. That's just truth. And so like the thought of me talking in any other direction when I know that to be true seems like the least authentic thing I can do.
But even when you say that, you must know that for a huge amount of people, including myself, we have to have that hypothesis that those things will give us some kind of fulfillment or meaning. We have to have that fail us before we learn the lesson. Gary's words versus the insecurity that was developed from my mother and my father on the playground, hypothetically. One of them, when I was 7 years old, the kid said I'd never be nothing. Then my teacher, I'm not talking about myself,
No, I got it.
The teacher comes in and says, you're an asshole.
I think that's right.
On one side of the scale, you've got Gary's words.
I don't think it's either of those. I think it's the macro conversation of happiness. I believe if the kid's getting picked on, you'll never be nothing. And she or he decides, I will be content at 25. I will have peace of mind. I will smile 89.3% of my life. Instead of, I'm gonna have a mansion and a super yacht, I think she gets crazy.